Hi guys! Happy to see you today. We are going to be starting some new math learning today. We're going to be working on a new unit about decimals. Now, since you guys are in grade 4, you actually haven't started learning about decimals. I'm sure you've seen decimals many times. You've probably seen them at the grocery store or anywhere where you go to buy things because money has a decimal in it. You might see decimals when you time something on your stopwatch. It could be like 1.3 seconds or something, you might say. Sometimes you see decimals with weight, like something is measured and it's maybe 3 2/10 kilograms or something like that. So I'm sure you've seen decimals, but we're going to start really learning about them. And today we're going to learn about how to properly read and say a decimal. So that's what you got to keep in your mind. Today, by the end of this video, you will know how to properly read a decimal and say it out loud. Okay, you ready? Okay, so I've got my whiteboard here at my house, and I am going to draw you a place value chart. One that doesn't even have decimals in it. Just a regular one so you can remember what a place value chart looks like, okay? So I'm gonna get, hopefully you can see that. I'm gonna get my blue marker here, and hopefully you might remember something like this, where we go hundreds and tens and ones. Like that. And then, so let's say I put some numbers in here. Okay, we would probably read that as 628. Okay, 628. I'm going to turn off my light here. No, better? No, not really better. Okay, 628. Now, if you notice, we always read numbers left to right, just the way we read. And when we're before a decimal place, we usually start with the first word. So 600. So we say that word 100, and then we go 28. It's going to be a little bit different with decimals because decimals are basically a fraction. They're a part of a whole. So if you have a decimal after a number like this, the decimal place always comes right after, right on the line, right after the ones place. Then you're saying you're not quite at 629 yet. Let me just draw another one. If I put a 4 here, you're somewhere in the middle of 628 and 629. You're not at 629 yet. You have part of 1. This 0.4 here is part of a 1. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just erase. We're not going to worry about this. Okay, we're going to start with just some easy decimals. Now, right over here we have the ones place. To the right of the decimal is called the tenths. But not the tens, the 10, and then put a TH on it, tenths. So I'm going to write it here. Okay, I'm going to delete this and put a 0. Okay, so this number, I wonder how you say it. Some of you might say 0.4, for decimal 4, something like that. There is a proper way to say it that's really going to help you along the way with math. And that is using the last digit, which is the 4, and saying the column it is in. So we could say this as 4/10. We could also read it like this, 0 and 4/10. So a decimal place equals the word and. Okay, always. So if I change this to a 1 and 4/10. If I change this to a 4 and I change this to a 7, I would say 4 and 7/10. Okay, I'm going to do a few more here. Let's say I had 9 and 3. So left to right, I'm going to say this number, 3 And then I'm going to say my decimal, 3 and 9 tenths. Okay, we're going to try to stay away from saying 3.9, 3 and 9, I don't even know, 3, whatever else you, 3.9. We are going to not say those, okay? As much as they might be okay to say, it's not that they're really wrong. This is going to really help you understand how much a decimal is like a fraction. And we're going to be converting them and showing them as fractions. And you're really going to have to be thinking about that. And this is the best way to do that, is to make the connection by calling this 9 tenths, okay? So today, when you go in your Seesaw, I just want you to read out, use your voice app to read out the numbers I've written in there for you, okay? If you're not sure, you get a little confused, send me a message. I'll respond to you right away, and we'll get this all settled. Look for you tomorrow.